are the two items from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to use in my project today. I have a scarf. Here's the scarf. And this little bag. I grabbed my top, my basic top pattern from my pattern bundle that I sell on Etsy. I folded it about at the waistline. I drew the pattern on the front and on the back. And I'm using men's handkerchief. You can find that at Dollar Tree, but you can use anything else. I just like that this is very thin. And I need a lightweight fabric as my lining. I trimmed the neckline and I cut up the back of the dress lining. I left about 1/4 of an inch, and could be less. And I mentioned in some of the videos that if you want to slope to the shoulder, you just draw a little angle from the neckline to the sleeve. About like that. You can measure it if you want to. I just eyeball it. And here's the angle. And it opens it up a little bit. And now I'm ready to put the lining onto my dress fabric. I put right sides together with my scarf fabric. And I love this scarf. It has a little tassel, and you know I'm going to do something with that tassel. And I've talked about before how this scarf fabric frays a ridiculous amount. So just doing this little step of lining the fabric will help with the fraying. I've sewn under the sleeve, the arm. I even closed up the opening of the arm because remember this is the lining. Again, under, down. Then leave that open. Sew up around the neck opening. And then this side just like the other side. And then trim. Sew before you cut. I clipped the V part. Clip under the sleeves and trim all the corners so that you won't have bulk when you turn your corners. Remember to leave this part open, that open, and then this part open so that you can turn it. After you've turned it, give it a good press so it'll lie flat. I did have a slight pucker there, but that's because I didn't cut close enough to the seam, but at the same time I didn't want that to fray. Now my experienced sewists are going to watch this and say, that's not how you do it. But remember, I'm sewing for beginners, and this is pretty easy. I've been wanting to try it on people clothes, but I haven't yet. Anyway, just overlap it slightly, and I'm going to just sew a straight stitch here. I'm not going to sew under the sleeves. I'm afraid I'll make it too tight. But that just adds another dimension or feature to the outfit. You can do it like you want to. And also you can see how this little angle that I sewed made the shoulder slope. Also, I wish if I could do it over, I wish I had paid more attention to this design. I wish that was on the front, but anyway, this front is okay. I had quite a lot left from the scarf, enough to make it really full. The gather's really full. I just folded the scarf because it was already finished for me, and I pressed it at the top, and I'm going to gather this and attach it to the bodice. I sewed the inside seam, both ends, so that it would have a finished look. I've attached the bodice to the skirt part. It has 2 layers. And I'm going to use a zipper for the closure. And where am I going to get this zipper? In a previous video, I had made these shoes from one of these fashion wristlets, bracelet fashion from Dollar Tree. And I found one really another shiny one, and I drew the shoe pattern on it, and I removed the zipper, and that's the zipper I'm going to use. It's not an exact match, but it's close enough. I made sure the zip part of the zipper was above where I'm going to sew, and it's long enough that I can stop about right here. I whip stitched the fabric together and pinned it, and I'm going to use my zipper foot to sew the zipper on. To be on the safe side, make a few little stitches so you don't lose the zip part, and do the same at the bottom. I'm going to clip the basting stitches, and make sure my zipper's back down where it's supposed to be. And I will secure the top by a few stitches to make sure that I don't zip it off, and cut the excess zipper, and you're ready to go. And we have a nice little zipper that's less than $1. And you can buy doll zippers, but I'm good with this. The zipper pull's a little bit large, but again, it'll be easy for little hands to zip. And here's the dress. A nice slope on the shoulders. I have this little makeup case in my Dollar Tree box that says "This Girl Can." And it's not a perfect match, but it'll go. I'll turn it inside out and cut about this much off. Well, exactly that much off. But you can, there's no measurement. I sewed down the sides and then cut the excess fabric and zipper off. And then I want it to sit flat. So I folded the bottom like this and measured about 1 inch there. And again, there's no exact measurements. Just make sure both sides are the same. You sew it like this, and then turn it to the right side. This is what it looks like. And it'll sit up by itself. And I have this piece of, well, it was the wrist strap for this little bag. I'm going to use half of it to make the strap for this bag. And I've got a plan for the rest of this. I just hand sewed this on. And she'll just carry it on her wrist. I'm going to show you an easy way to put a strap on the shoe Shoe is in my Etsy bundle. Alright, put the right side of your shoe on the lining, and I'm using this handkerchief material again. I've pinned not within the shoe area but off of the shoe area, and I am going to sew around the inside. I went ahead and sewed on the pencil line, and you cut this part on the pencil line. Okay. Of course the lining will fold, but let's just see how it looks. It's not much room for the strap, so I think I will sew it lower than where the line is. And you can see that I sewed right beside the line. Tried to do it equal distance. Here's the tricky part. I went back and opened up the lining where I want the strap to go. And then I'm just going to whip stitch it, or I could glue it shut. And then I want the rest of the strap to end up on the outside. And try it on your doll so that it'll, like this is the right foot. I'll try it on her and make sure that my strap is on the outside of the right foot. And if you sew around the lining at the bottom, that'll keep this lining pulled down. And I have to finger press it because you cannot use your iron. I glued the strap and I made sure that it was at the right angle. This is why I do the strap the way I did, as far as sewing the whole lining and then inserting the strap. You can see that it works on the doll, but when I lay it flat, it's kind of at an angle. But when it's folded, it lays the way it's supposed to. And again, place it on your doll's foot so that you know it will be the proper fit. And I've told you 10,000 times to, if this is the first doll shoe you've ever made, make a practice shoe first. Don't use up your little cute bag unless you want to buy several bags, because I can almost guarantee you your first shoe will not fit perfectly. You just have to, it takes practice, and you'll soon learn the mechanics of how to put this shoe together. I glued the back. I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue right there. I glued the strap onto the shoe, make sure it fits, and it will come off. And then you put your trim to cover up all the gaps in the glue. If the straps are too challenging for you, just make a little pair of flats without the straps. Remember the little tassels. I put 2 on the zipper pull, and I put the other 2. This doll already had little earrings, so I just tied them onto her earrings. My daughter has a pair of earrings like with the tassels on them.
Thanks for watching.